Will the fight against voting rights backfire on the GOP? Check this out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. I mean, this is really I ask this as a serious question, because if I was living in Georgia and I was a Democratic voter, kind of regardless of race, but in particular, you know, the people who have been targeted, mostly African Americans, I'd be furious right now. And fury is an emotion, and emotion is what drives the bases of political parties. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that before the 2022 election, the Republicans are going to come up with something to try to get their base out, right? They're going to come up with, you know, it's going to be some new bathroom bill or some new anti-drug legislation or some, you know, I mean, some culture war thing, right? What's the latest going to be? An anti-trans bill? This is what they do. Right? Anything but talking, you know, anything to avoid talking about how the Republican Party is all about two things: tax cuts for billionaires and big corporations, and letting more poisons and pollutants into our atmosphere, our water, our food, and our you know, our lives. And so, you know, because they don't want that talked about, they always go to these so-called social issues, you know, abortion, guns, drugs, sexual identity or gender identity, all, you know, this is what they do, and I'm fully expecting this. But is it going to work? I think this is, like, you know, one of the biggest questions of our day right now. Have we reached a point where this strategy that the Republican Party has been using literally since the 80s, with Nixon's shout out, his Southern strategy, and his whole silent majority thing, which was just another way of saying, you know, the white people in the suburbs who vote Republican. Have we reached the point where not just black people, I think African Americans have known for a long time exactly what this is. I mean, a long time, like all the way back to the end of Reconstruction. 1876. But has the white populace of America, who are in those white people who are inclined to vote Democratic, have they woken the hell up? Have they figured out what's going on? What say you? Do you think it's possible that this strategy is actually going to work against the Republicans? Now, I get that, you know, what Greg just said is that, you know, hundreds of thousands of people may be blown off the voting rolls just in time for the election. That might allow Brian Kemp and Raffensperger and all these other guys to get themselves reelected next year. They're all standing for reelection in 2022, the statewide positions in the state of Georgia. And Raphael Warnock, Reverend Warnock, Senator Warnock now, is up for reelection next year because he won in a special election, not a regular 6-year election. And so maybe they can pull this thing off in Georgia simply by throwing 350, roughly 1,000 people off the voting rolls, as Greg laid out. But is this their last chance? And in other states, well, I'm guessing actually the Georgia law is going to become the model legislation for every place else. I'm inclined to think that there may be short-term victories in this, but these are all battles that the war has already been lost for the Republicans. But as you well know, I am the eternal optimist, and I may be wrong. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.